David Shannon, Author Study PowerPoint Presentation. Presented by Brooklyn McCool. David Shannon was born in Washington, D.C. on October 5th of 1959. He is currently 60 years old. He grew up in Spokane, Washington. He attended the Art Center College of Design in Pasadena, California, where he graduated with a degree in fine arts. Shannon started out doing editorial illustrations in many famous publications, for example, the New York Times, Rolling Stones, and Time magazine. He began to write and illustrate his own stories at a very young age, and is currently living in Los Angeles, California with his wife and his daughter Emma. Just a few fun facts about David Shannon. No David is based on a book he wrote when he was 5 years old. When illustrating a book for another author, he does it without talking to the author, which is pretty cool. He does not use real people for his illustrations of characters, but makes them up from people watching. So real people have been inspired into his illustrations. In A Bad Case of the Stripes, he thought about what would happen if people got stripes instead of chickenpox, and drew the painting for the story prior to writing it. He has illustrated over 30 books written by himself and other authors. So he not only illustrates his books, but he has a ton of books that he illustrates for other authors. Also, another fun fact about David Shannon is that he uses acrylic paint, or now oil paint, to try to create his illustrations in all of his books. So as you look through the PowerPoint, look at all the covers of the books, and you can see that they are kind of like an oil painting, which I thought was pretty neat. David Shannon has been nominated for 1 million awards. He has also been nominated for best illustrations of other people's books that were not written by him. But these are just a couple of awards that he has gotten recently and in the past. I was looking and I couldn't find any that has 2019 to 2015, so he has been nominated Best Illustrated Book for the New York Times in 1994 for How Georgie Rayburn Saved Baseball, and in 1998 for No David. No David also got a Cadell Scott Honor Award in 1999, and the Bulletin of the Center of Children's Books, both of 1998 too. So that's pretty awesome. He's got a lot of awards for No David. He received a Golden Kite Award in 2000 for The Rain Came Down, and received a Book Sense Best Picture Book 2004 for How I Became a Pirate. And that's a really cute book if you've not read How I Became a Pirate. Some common themes in David Shannon's books is basically family. He has a lot of family backgrounds in all of his stories, such as Duck on a Bike. This was inspired by his daughter, who used to make animal noises before she could even talk, which I thought was pretty neat to have a book about his daughter. We know that No David was taken from Shannon's experiences when he was growing up. And Good Boy Fergus is about their family dog, Fergus. Just a couple of popular books by David Shannon was No David and A Bad Case of the Stripes. In the book No David, I've given you a summary in case you've not had the chance to read this book. It's a very cute book for children who just can't help but get in trouble. And everything they do, mothers, teachers, guardians are always telling them no. Some of the things that David does in this story is jumping on the bed, picking his nose, not putting away his toys, and there's a million of other things David does. But it's a great children's book, and it has also received the Cadell Scott Honor Awards. In A Bad Case of the Stripes, I did my lesson plan on this for my author study lesson plan. And it's basically about a girl who loves lima beans, but all the children at her school think her love for lima beans is a little weird, so she refuses to eat lima beans in order to seem normal. However, the next day she's covered in stripes and begins turning different colors at the demand of anyone she sees. And no one is able to change Camilla back to her usual state, except for a little old lady. Turns out, all Camilla needed was just to be herself and eat her lima beans that she loves. It's a great story to teach children not to worry so much about what everyone thinks and to just be themselves. Here are some other popular books by David Shannon. A lot of these we have discussed previously in this PowerPoint, but all of his books are published by the Blue Sky Press and are all based out of New York, New York. And as I said, he has a ton of books that he has illustrated for other authors. These were just some of the books that I came across that he has illustrated. A lot of these I've actually have read, but I didn't realize that David Shannon has illustrated all of these. So if you have a chance, you can see the common theme of his acrylic work in every one of these. It's just I never put two and two together. Well, thank you for listening, and I hope you learned a little bit about David Shannon.